somebody going on the mission field to sing it out before she comes up here. All right, I need to tell you, I need all the teenagers, 12 and up. Brother Scott and Sister Sharice are going to start, our youth night is going to start tonight. They're going to take you in the gym area. And is that right? 12 and up, you can just follow them and just head over that way. 12 and up, not 11, 12 and up, all right, guys? Sorry, sister. Shh. Guys, be quiet, be quiet. Shh.
So everybody's been praying for my sister and everything. Saturday night, I got a call that we're working through shutting down. There was nothing else they could do, and I had talked to them and they told me that she was dying. So we went up to the hospital and we seen her and everything. She's able to talk to us and everything. That she was having problems. They were wanting to do surgery. She's not able to pass anything through her colon because of the mask. So they wanted to do a surgery. They tried to do the surgery Monday. They couldn't do it because everything, the mass is so large. So they had to do a colostomy. So now she has a nephrostomy on both kidneys because her kidneys aren't working. She has a colostomy. She's 33 years old. She has 3 young kids. And they're saying there's nothing else they can do. She weighs probably 75 pounds. She's little. They're going to try to do chemo on her just to keep it from growing, to give her, more time. But it was hard. Like, I cried. I mean, it was just such an empty feeling. I was like, I don't want to lose my sister. I don't want her to say goodbye to her kids. It was just really hard. But I will tell you that I prayed all week long, and I have such a peace and such joy. Like, I know that as a nurse and as a person, all reality is that she is not going to make it. But I know that God has something planned. I don't know if it's to save our relationship, to save her soul, or to save her body. But God has a plan.
Amen.
I've just been so joyful thinking we're all fixing to see a miracle.
Praise God.
It's going to be our testimony. It just amazes me at how 2 or 3 days ago, every time I thought about it, all I could think about is losing her and the emptiness. And I tell this story now, and I don't have any fear of losing her because I know no matter what happens at the end of it, God has control.
God has
God is going to have a miracle. We're all going to witness it. And it's just amazing that He's always there. And that sometimes our body and our minds, of this world sit there and question and doubt stuff. And stuff still comes along, but as soon as it comes, I just feel His joy and His peace. And I just wanted to let you guys know, thank you guys for praying and stuff, and that I will be back and I will tell you our testimony.
Amen. Lord, believe you. All right, sister. We're going to go ahead and let you in. Sorry. Lost a bunch of your audience.
That's okay. Well, thank you guys for having me here tonight. For most of you who don't know me, my name is Kayla McCullough, and I live in Ada, Oklahoma, and I attend Trinity Baptist Church. I'm Jessica Manning's cousin, Jessica and Mark's cousin. And for the last couple of years, I've been going on mission trips with my church. My first mission trip was in 2008, and it was to Ecuador, where I went mainly just for medical. It was just a medical mission trip. That's pretty much all it was. But it kind of gave me a desire to want to do more. But the opportunity never really presented itself again for quite a while. But about 5 years ago, the church that we had started attending traveled to Nicaragua. And I wanted to go, and I knew I was being called to go, but I came up with all kinds of excuses why not to go. The money, or the time, or my kids, or you can always come up with an excuse on why not to go. But every time the preacher would talk about it, or remind us that time was getting closer, or that they were still short people, I just had a desire in my heart. I knew I was supposed to be on that trip. So about 3 weeks before they left for Nicaragua, the preacher said, we had somebody back out. We can't replace them as far as, it was a medical person, and it's hard to get medical people to go because they're busy. So my husband just looked at me and he said, you're just going to go. Luckily, I already had my passport because we're 3 weeks away from traveling. And so I just talked with the preacher after. I said, I don't know where I'm going to get the money, but I'm going to go, so I'm going to sign up. And he said, we'll worry about the money, as it goes, because the plane ticket had already been paid for. So within the first week and a half of me saying, I'm going to go, and committing to that call to go, I got about 4 texts from the preacher. This amount of money was donated onto your account. This amount of money was donated onto your travel. This amount of money was donated. And within the end of the 2 weeks, the trip had completely been paid for, and I didn't get a single penny. And he said if there was a doubt that you were supposed to be on this trip, it should be gone now. So after that, it was, and when we went to Nicaragua, it's a change, and it's a reward that you can't describe. It's something that I can't put into words what it's like to be there and to help those people and to do the things that we do for them. It's indescribable. It's something that I don't bring anything home on the outside. I don't bring anything home that I can show everybody other than pictures. But inside, it's just something that's indescribable. So I went to Nicaragua that year. I went the following year. I went the following year. And last year, about 3 weeks before our travel time, the country became in complete unrest. We couldn't get into the country, and had we have gotten into the country, we would not have been safe at all. So it was kind of like our preacher, who had been going to Nicaragua for about 10 years. He said, I'm not sure what we're going to do. I don't know what happens next. And so he made a few telephone calls, and it was just so happened that a gentleman that had attended Nicaragua with us the year before, that was actually from Florida, had his own mission, and none of us even knew about it, because he did not bring that up on our mission trip, because he was there to do the work we were doing. But his mission team had enough spots open for every person that we had signed up to go to Nicaragua, to go to Haiti. So it's like, sometimes God closes a door and turns it into a window for us to watch through, and he opens another door for us to walk through. So we went last year for the first time to Haiti, and that's where we'll be going again this year, is to Haiti. Haiti is one of the most poverty-stricken places ever. And the Haitian people they're hungry. They are so hungry for the Word of God, and to know Him, and to experience Him in the ways that we take to them. When we travel to Haiti, we usually take 3 groups. We take a medical team, a construction team, and it's kind of like a VBS or a sports camp team is what we take. Our main purpose of going to Haiti is to share the good news of Jesus Christ. That's why we go to Haiti. But you can't just say that and get into Haiti. You can't just load up, 100 people and say, we're going to Haiti to share the word of Jesus Christ, because they don't take to that like we can do that here in America. So we take these teams, and we go and we help people, we see patients, we build things for them. In Nicaragua, the first year I went, we built 2 houses in 2 weeks. And so the purpose of us going is not necessarily the medical treatment or the construction or to teach the kids about baseball or softball or soccer or anything like that. Our main purpose is to go to share the word of Jesus Christ. But through that, we get to touch a lot of lives in other ways. Last year, we've seen the first week probably 976 patients, somewhere right around in there, and that's in a 3.5-day span of time. And they built 1 complete house and started another one so that our second week team could go and finish that house. And then on our sports camp team, pretty much it's our younger youth that get to go, and they just kind of hang out with these kids and get to love on these kids and get to share things with them and teach them things that they didn't know, or just pretty much just spending time with them and loving on them. And they love that. These kids love the attention. They love for you to come and just touch them and hold them and you know, show them that you care. This year, we will be traveling. Week 1 is May 25th through June the 1st. The second team goes out, they fly out. Last year we passed each other in the airport. Through the glass we could see our team coming in as we were going home. So the second team goes June 1st through, and then they come back on the 8th. It is expensive to go. It's not a cheap trip. It costs about $1,650 per person to travel. That does take care of our airline tickets, our food while we're there, the places that we stay. But again, it is something that when you go, it's so rewarding that the money doesn't even matter. The money that you send there, or that we pay, it also goes to help the kids and the people of Nicaragua. It's not just money that we're just giving to somebody for no reason. We leave out of Dallas. We have Chickasaw. You have the Choctaw Nation here, while I live in the Chickasaw Nation. We have a Chickasaw Nation charter bus that takes us to the airport. They drop us off, then they come back and get us whenever we're ready to come home. So that's been a blessing. That's only been the last 2 years that they've done that, but that has been great because before we were traveling in several church vans with all kinds of gear and all kinds of stuff because we have to take our own medical supplies, our own medications. We can get medications there, but we take some of our own stuff there. And then after we left Haiti last year, our pastor went back and he actually spent some time, and we have now partnered with a small church there that also runs a school, and there's about 45 students in the school. Our main focus this year as far as medical is going to be at the school because those kids don't see, you can't just load your kid up and take them to a doctor there or to a dentist or to get care anywhere. I mean, it's not like we have here. It's few and far between. Some of these kids and some of these adults have never seen a doctor, or they've never seen a dentist, or anything like that. So we take that opportunity. We usually have a couple of providers that go. We have some nurses that go, and we just set up and do an entire clinic while we're there. We only have enough medications for certain things for certain amounts of time. So it's not like we're going down there and we're going to give them blood pressure medication for a year. It may only be 30 days worth. But in that 30 days, you know, it's making a change in their life. But when they came to the clinic to see us, they were counseled by our Christian counselors, and they were shared with, and they were talked to about Christ. So every person that comes through the clinic, every person, doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, every person is counseled before they go and see the provider. And then they're taken back and see the provider. That's kind of how we are able to share the word and do what we do as far as medical goes. We seen a little boy last year who, when he was brought to us at the clinic, he was carried to us. He was lethargic. He was a very, very sick little boy. He was about 8 years old. And we could see his leg bones. And they had been sick for a long time. He had broken that leg, exposed the bone, the muscle, everything, and it was infected, and you could tell that somebody had tried to put something in there to fix it, but he was really sick. We didn't know if he was going to make it or not. And nothing we had there at our facility was going to be enough to fix him. So we all pulled together, and we got him sent down into town to see a surgeon, and we still didn't know really what was going to take place or how he was going to come out. But about 6 months later, we got a video that he is running and he is playing and he is jumping and hauling, and his leg is fabulous because we really thought it was going to have to be amputated. We had an infant that was brought to us who was about 9 months old, and she weighed probably 9 pounds. She had been living on lemon water because mom's milk had dried up, and she had been living on lemon water for about 3 months. In Haiti, the kids start to eat food. They start feeding them food at about 6 months because moms don't get enough nutrients to continue to be able to feed babies, so they start feeding them whatever they're eating at about 6 months. This baby wasn't strong enough to do that, so I took those of us that were at the clinic, we don't carry a lot of cash when we're there. But we took everything we had and we sent it down, and we got to buy her some formula. Well, one can of formula is not going to get her where she needed to be. Luckily, my daughter had had a premature baby. Not luckily that she was premature, but she had had a baby that was premature, and formula wasn't doing real well on her, so they had tried several different kinds. And when they would get these kinds, she would get like a case at a time. And I thought about that, so I called her and I'm like, what do you have there with you that's still left? And she said, well, I have like 10 or 12 cans of this or that. Or I'm like, okay, take it to the church so that the next team can bring it up. We ended up being able to supply that baby with enough formula to get her strong enough and healthy enough to be able to start taking table food. She probably would not be with us today had it been another week that we were there. So I've had it asked me several times, you think you can go over there and just change the world in 1 week? Nope. And I don't plan to go over there and change the world in 1 week. I plan to go over there and change the world one person at a time. Because that one person that we feed can go and plant seeds with somebody else. And that's kind of how it starts. You just kind of plant those seeds and it goes from there. I've got a few pictures that I'll show you guys of the place where we were in Haiti. This is the church that we partnered with this year, and this is the kids that attend church there, or attend school there. There's 40 plus kids there at the school, and it costs kids there to go to school, it costs them $60 a year. And as you can see, there's only 45 kids out of this entire area that can afford to attend school. Because the average Haitian lives on about $2 to $3 a week or every 2 weeks. That's kind of what they get. There's teachers at the school here whose children cannot attend school because they can't afford it. Teachers are paid about $70 a month when they're paid. When these pictures here were taken, the teachers hadn't been paid in about 3 months. And they don't get back paid. So when they don't get paid a month, they just don't get paid that much. And they hope that they get paid next month. But most of them are there because they want to be there and not for the money necessarily. And most of these pictures are just of that, of the school and of the church and of the kids that we will be servicing. This wall right here will be what our construction team is going to do this year. They're planning to finish that wall, build it up. This is still in the church and the school area. But to build it up so it's safer for the kids to be there and more weather protectant and things like that. When our preacher went down, this is their bathroom. So this is the bathroom. This is where you use the bathroom at the church. When we go to church and we ask students or adults, what's something your church could use? I haven't been anywhere yet where it was a bathroom. Because we have those luxuries. We don't have to worry about going to the bathroom. We don't have to worry about having comfortable seats or warm temperatures or a comfortable environment. We have all those things. This was one of their biggest things. If we could ask for anything for our church, other than for the Lord to be present with us all the time, it's to have a bathroom, a functioning bathroom. Functioning for them and functioning for us is way different. It don't take a lot to give a functioning bathroom to them. So this is another thing that our construction team will be working on, is to try and get them a functioning bathroom. So, and I don't know if there's another picture up there. I think that might be all of them. Is that all of them? Yeah. So just kind of a glimpse at what it is that we do. We are going to work with those kids that you see there. We are going to build up the walls of the church. We are going to try to provide them with a functioning bathroom. We might not get all that done, but we're going to do our best to do those kind of things. The biggest thing is, kind of like in one of the songs was, God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the call. So if you think you have nothing to offer, until you go and you experience it and you put your heart out there with whatever it is that you do have, whether it's just the gift of gab, talking, whatever it is, it's usable. And it's usable for a purpose. And there's things that can be done through that, no matter what it is. It took me a very hard way to learn the lessons of, if you're feeling the tug and you're feeling like this is something you're supposed to do, we'll find a way. Because when you miss those opportunities, you don't know what the end result of that's going to be. Sometimes those opportunities are given to us and we just have to kind of figure them out. But if it's something that you're interested in, and something that you want more information on, I have some information packets here. Mark is going to go with us this year, so I'm very excited to be, I've never had a family member go, so I'm excited about having somebody that's part of my family to be able to go and share the experience with, and I hope that he gets out of it half of what I've gotten out of it, because it is truly something that's just awesome. And yes, we have tons of people and tons of children and tons of things that can be done right here in our country and in our communities, in our own backyards. I don't travel off because I can come back and say, well, I went to Haiti and I did blah, 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 because I don't do anything. God uses me to do His work. It is not me. I don't go over there and do things because I'm bigger and better than most people. I do things because that's what God does through me. That's what His plan is for me, and it took me a while to surrender to that, to know that I'm supposed to travel. Last year I had a grandbaby born right before I left. The year before that I had a grandbaby born right before I left, and it's tough. It's tough getting on that plane, and it's tough knowing I'm going to a third world country. I'm going to have another one 10 days before I leave for this trip. They gave me 5 and 3 years, so financially I'm like, I really cannot do this. But there's always a way. And it's not necessarily, I don't want you to go thinking that Haiti is a wonderful place and we go there and we have a ball, because it is hot, the days are long, the terrain is rocky. Last year we had no hot water, because very few places in Haiti have hot water. There's no air conditioning. It's not a vacation. It's somewhere that you go and you're going to serve the Lord. You're not going to get some time off of work and just have a great time. You're going to serve the Lord. And I don't want you to think it's all great. It is not. The days are very hot. It's very long. But it is so very rewarding. So again, I'll leave some of these packets here. The time is kind of getting down to a crunch. So if you have interest.
Can you tell them the dates?
Yes. The first week leaves May 25th. That's on a Saturday. And then we come back the following Saturday, June 1st. The second group leaves out June 1st. And then they come back on June the 8th. So you do have to have a passport in order to travel. If you have any kind of a license, whether it's a nursing license, if you're a provider of any sort, we have to have that license because it has to be sent to the Haitian government. They have to clear that we're good to go. I really haven't quite figured that one out yet. But they have to know that you are who you say you are, and you're going to come over and do what you say you're going to do. If you're going to provide services to somebody, you have to be qualified to do that. Again, the cost is $1,600. I think it's either $1,600 or $1,650. $250 of that was due several months ago, but I mean, that's something that we can work with. That $250 is what needs to be paid as soon as possible, just because that holds your plane ticket. They bought our plane tickets probably 3 months ago, and they buy so many, and that just kind of holds your plane ticket. And then the rest, we try to do it in installments. The first installment was due on February the 1st, but again, that's something that we can work with. I did talk to my pastor, and I know he said week 2 is getting pretty full. We can always use a couple more of pretty much any of the specialties, or if you're a counselor or anything like that. Week 1 we are lacking on construction team and medical, I think. So
Which one's the one you said was
May 25th through the June 1st. Yes. And so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. My phone number is actually at the bottom of this page. You can text me, call me, whatever you need to do, whatever you want to do, things like that. I fundraise for my money. The last few trips I've used my photography as a fundraiser. This year I kind of just reached out to some local businesses and said, hey, I kind of spend a lot of money here with you. Are you willing to give back? And they did. Most of the time when you tell people where you're going and why you're going, people give a lot easier than what some people might would think. So I don't want that to be something that holds you back and for you not to go, because that is something that we can get over that. We can figure something out, we can get around that, we can find a way. So, anybody have any questions? I know Mark's got lots of questions, but. Good. All right. I'm going to leave these here for you guys. I'm just going to take one because I don't know what I do with my master copy.
I came across a couple of Marines today. It was a man and a woman, I guess they were husband and wife, and I'd gone to Popeyes to eat, and they came in and I walked over and I said, thank you for your service. And I'd like to say, thank you for your service. I've never been on a mission trip. And to be honest with you, I'm still trying to work this out.
We do, brother.
She said she needs construction guys the first week. I'm a master of almost everything, so I'm like, I really would love to go and I'm going to try to get Camp Blossom moved around. I tried the other day, but I'm going to try again. What I came up here to say was, I want you all to think about something. And yes, I'm fixing to ask us to take up an offering to help. If it's all right, we'll take up an offering for her tonight, if she's okay with that. And then later on, before they go, we'll try to get Brother Mark an offering too. I've never gone on a mission trip, but I've gone and cleaned up after tornadoes quite a few times, after floods quite a few times. And I know what she's talking about. You work so hard all day long in some pretty bad conditions and things. It's horrific what you see, what you feel, the families that are destroyed. But in the same instance, every night when I went to bed, I thought to myself, thank you, Lord, that I'm here. I really appreciate the fact that I got to help and got to be a part of doing this. I want to tell you something. She mentioned a little bit about it, but there's a couple things she didn't mention that you probably need to know. These guys need prayer.
Absolutely, yes.
Haiti is also known for something else. Not for Christian values. Haiti is actually like one of the voodoo capitals of the world. Voodoo, as a matter of fact, I even Googled it just now just to make sure I didn't get my facts wrong, because I was pretty sure. I've had some brothers go, some other minister friends of mine that go to Haiti on a regular basis. And they claim Catholicism is their national religion, but if you ask the folks there, and if you actually get into the brass tacks about it, and even Google said it, that actually what their main religion is voodoo. And they believe that voodoo and Catholicism works hand in hand, and that they can coincide with each other. And I'm like, I got to tell you what, in case you don't know what voodoo is, it's the devil. It's the enemy. It's believing in spirits and evil. And there's power in evil spirits.
Amen.
And I said that to say this. We need to be praying for these guys when they go over there. That, you know what, they're going to be fighting some battles, and it's not going to be just medical or feeding. And these people, I don't know about you, to see children starving to death. I don't, Pastor kind of has a hard time just watching these kids go over there. I don't know how I'm going to go to Haiti, if I get to go to Haiti. And I want to. And I'm going to say that to you. I want to go because I want to be shown the truth. I don't like sitting there going through life going, I want to look through, they used to call it rose-colored glasses, where everything is rosy. No, I don't want to go through life going, everything's rosy. I know there's people hurting. I know there's people that need help. And it'll make you pray for folks, amen? So, we're going to be praying for them, amen? We're going to be praying for her and Brother Mark and for all these that are on this mission trip. That God, sister, you don't know it, but you just took on a family to help you pray. And we're going to pray always and continually for safety. And more than that when they lay hands on people, they're healed. When they speak the words of Christ to people, that their hearts are changed. Amen? I believe that they can make sister, I do believe you can change the world. If you can change Haiti to a Christian country, amen? That's going to shine pretty bright. Yeah, I'd like the next time I look at Google, it says, well, funny thing is, Christianity has become the #1 religion in all of Haiti. We keep going there, and we keep pumping Jesus into them. Guess what? It could very well. How many of y'all believe that? God is a powerful God, and all He needs is people to do His will. Jesus, there's a reason Jesus said, greater things than these shall you do, for I go to the Father. He was telling us, listen, it's up to you guys to do these great things. It's up to you to go to these countries and do these things. He expects His people. The Bible says also, it said, it's still by the foolishness of preaching. God needs people. That's how He planned it. He can do all things, and He